Hello, Chantani, and welcome to another episode of the Godfather Part 2 Minutes. With me, Alex Robinson.
And I'm Andy Robinson.
And together we're discussing minute 52 of the Godfather Part 2.
And we're discussing our heart attacks.
Well, we're talking about minute 52.
That's right. Alex, repeat after me.
Yes.
E minuto. Numero 52.
52.
You got it.
That was a pretty easy one.
Yeah.
52.
That's it.
Well, let me tell you what happens in minute 52. Vito Corleone opens the parcel given to him by his neighbor.
Ta-da!
A clutch of guns. Actually, is it just guns, or are there? I think it's just guns.
I think it's just guns. Yeah.
There's no like brass knuckles or knives or anything like that.
It's like a gun, a brass knuckles,
a candlestick,
lead
pipe.
It's every mob weapon.
Later, he's at work at the grocery when a familiar, if sinister presence enters. Sorry. The wet-beaked, black-handed Don Fanucci.
Did you say the wet-beaked?
Yeah, wet-beaked.
Yeah.
Wet-beaked.
What? Get a load of him. He's completely wet-beaked. Beaked.
So, we've got the answer to our question from last week, which
guns.
is, what's in the package?
Guns.
Guns.
Now, try to
say about 20 guns.
Try to transport your back to you. Well, you worry about the package. I'll worry about the guns. Transport yourself back to the first time you saw this. I know that's going back way back.
Okay.
Would you have suspected guns at this point in the movie?
Probably. I mean, it's a mafia movie, so it's not like unexpected. It's not like watching the Brady Bunch and guns are introduced into it. That would be a different. So
Mike, we've got a package.
Michael, Michael.
That was like a Mrs. Brady, but like almost a Tom Hagen. Mike, we've got a package.
Mike, you just don't go to a butcher and kill him.
Now, Mike, these architectural plans. I think we've got
almost a sacred relationship to these plans.
Mike, we've got some other you got some architect friends that might like some of these plans, right?
So yeah, guns.
What do you?
Not surprised.
You're not surprised. What do you make of Vito's reaction?
Well, for one thing, I'm wondering because he's not a religious man, but he's a spiritual man, the Don, I think.
You don't think he's a religious man?
Well, I mean, he doesn't strike me as someone who goes to church.
Okay.
Like that's for like Mrs. Corleone does. Do you think?
I got the I don't know if he's going to church, but I'm pretty sure he's old school, like a mustache Pete.
Well, that's what I mean. He kind of believes in God, and he's
like that would be an infamida.
Right, but he's not like goes to a priest. Like I don't feel like he has respect for the church as a
okay.
Like
all
as
right.
a
okay.
And like he sees it as just another scam, the same way. Not that but he believes in God and all that, mm-hmm. But he's very aware of the human frailty. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make though is that would a religious guy like Vito here, who's already like we contemplate is already thinking about the injustice of the world,
mm-hmm.
that now suddenly weapons are being placed, like are literally being given to him.
Yeah.
Would he see this as a sign?
Oh, I see. A divine intervention.
Like
divinity pointing him in a certain direction in life.
Because clearly he's still upset by it because he's about to tell, and then suddenly this parcel comes from out of nowhere from that he had not even.
Well, and people back then were more superstitious than they are now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, well, I don't want to stereotype, but I think you could argue that like Catholics from last century were particularly superstitious.
Yeah,
maybe. So yeah, I can see him interpreting that as a sign.
And second of all, have you ever had a situation? Who is the real Andy Robinson? Have you ever had a situation where something happened where you're like, well, that's it. That's the universe telling me I have to do that.
Oh, like a sign? Oh, God. I don't think so.
I can't think of anything important, but I've definitely done it with like, all right, that's whatever.
Well, I guess I'll buy a lottery ticket.
Right,
like
exactly.
Little things.
Yeah,
right?
or...
yeah. No, I don't think anything's ever... I haven't thought of the universe whispering in my ear.
Mm-hmm. We're too much planners.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I think it would be very cool.
Yeah.
And I'm not against it. Maybe the signs just haven't been strong enough.
Right.
Right.
So this is a crossroads moment for Vito Corleone.
And his reaction indicates that. He puts his hand up, I think, and he's very pensive.
Yeah, he puts his hands on his head, like runs his hand through his hair, like he doesn't quite know what to do.
Yeah, I like how he opens him up in the bathtub.
Well, even before that, he shuts the door, so Carmela does not see what's in the package.
Yeah.
Why? What's up with that?
Well, I'm guessing he suspects it's something that's no good, and so he wants to isolate her from that.
So no good meaning it will harm her, or
he wants to protect her, and so why get her involved in something that could potentially be dangerous?
Right.
She can, after all, she can afford to be careless.
But it's not like he thinks, oh, it's a human head, and so I don't want my wife to see a decapitated. Like for her protection, but it's more like a legal protection than it is a trauma, like being protected from some kind of trauma.
Yeah,
or something
I think
like
so.
That.
Yeah,
it is, of course, a nice callback to the when I guess maybe this is probably the first time that a Corleone has closed the door to keep his wife out of.
That's right.
Things have been going on between men and women for
at least 40 years.
Yeah, at least. So
this one. When was the next one?
The next one was when Kay gets shut out.
Is there not one between then?
I wonder.
Like when someone gets closed out of the office? Yeah, maybe not.
Well, I feel like Kay gets the door closed in her face a couple of times.
Yeah.
Like GF1 and then the GF2 when Mikey's coming home.
Yeah.
And they're like, Anthony, say goodbye to your mother.
Yeah,
and then he just shuts the door in her face.
Yeah.
So
and remember when she said, when Michael another time Mikey asks her, Carrie, how's the baby? Oh, it's okay, it's sleeping.
All those times that happen.
Sleeping inside me. You love that. Sleeping. Well, let's see. He closed the door. Guns in the bathtub. Guns in
bathtubs. So what would you do if you were Don Vito in this situation?
Got a bundle of guns. And I'm Don Vito, same life circumstances. Mm-hmm. And I know how the rest of the movie is going to go.
You know that you eventually go on to become a big crime lord and die relatively peacefully.
Yeah, let me go for it.
All right.
If I'm gonna die anyway, I want my own grandson to poison me with fertilizer.
Would you? So if you were Vito, would you just hold on to the guns and, like you said, just not? Or would you take one out and keep it for yourself?
That seems to be going a little too far. Mm-hmm. I think I'd pass the loyalty test by just... You
don't think if anytime a guy helps you steal, he's going to steal a little bit of you extra just because that's the way it goes? It's called a little leakage.
Leakage, yeah. Yeah, but I don't know if Vito's ready to have his own gun.
You don't think?
Has he even fired a gun?
He's an American, and it's a Second Amendment right. So actually, he probably is.
It's a Second Amendment right to do so.
I wonder if he is an American at this point.
Yeah.
Or if he ever becomes an American.
Huh. Gosh. Great question. Don't know. We'll ask.
Yes, we'll answer.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you think Vito's fired a gun yet?
Probably not.
I mean, in Sicily, he was just a kid.
Yeah, and he was really stupid, too, so I don't think he probably...
but his family had guns. They probably hunted, right?
I don't know.
In Sicily?
Did people hunt back then in Sicily? Were there wild? I don't think there were wild animals or anything.
I mean, people had lumparas, as we saw in GF1.
Right, but that was for hunting. That was for hunting people. The most dangerous game.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll ask, we'll answer.
I guess it was pretty dangerous for him to open it up and look inside. Like, think about that now. Someone leaves a package and you open it up. What if you found a bunch of drugs in there? Now you're kind of like, if someone's going to come get them.
That's kind of the equivalent.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I don't think these are legal guns. I'm assuming they're illegal guns.
So it's pretty risky to look inside.
But you would have to look, because then how do you know if
Well, if he's just says, hey, just hold this for me. I'll come get him next week.
So if someone you did not know
I'm not saying I would.
But you're saying it's risky for him to do it. You're saying in your situation you would...
I'm trying to think of me now in my home here. No one would ever do that, and I would never accept the package.
Right.
Because if I did,
you might have COVID.
It could be proved in a court of law. I knew of their whereabouts.
Well, but that's what, maybe if he had opened it and there was a human head inside.
Whoa.
Maybe then he wouldn't say, okay, I'll just hold on to it. I'll go right to the police.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But
yeah.
We don't know at this point if he beliees in America. I guess he'd go right to Don Fanucci.
Yeah.
Say, what Don Fanucci, what do I do?
Yeah. They're a bunch of old...
I want a piece of that head.
Yeah, they're all a bunch of beaks in there. This is a sign. This is the universe telling me I need to charge more. Don Zaza. I've got this beak in my shoe.
Bastardo.
Are we gonna do this for GF3? What's your prediction? It's a big investment.
Motion is the future.
Doing a whole movie minute by minute. It's a big expense, a big investment.
It's a commitment.
It's a commitment.
It is a commitment.
Yeah.
I mean, we might not finish it now, but maybe 10 years from now.
I just want to get to those few great scenes. The stone in my shoe, Zaza, Tony Bennett records. The good thing is they all happen in the first 20 minutes.
Maybe we could do Godfather 3 Part 1. We break it up into two halves. We do the first half, and then once they go to Sicily, we're like, okay, someone else could do Part 2.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Because it's, so.
Or maybe we could partner with another podcasting crew.
Okay.
And we could divvy them up.
Or so we could get maybe the most powerful podcasters, get them all together.
Yes, and in one room.
We can reason together.
We can reason together. Yeah. We can lock the doors.
You know what? Rewinding a second, the Don does admit he is a superstitious man.
He is, yes.
So maybe he does take the guns as a sign that this is his new destiny.
Although, is he a superstitious man? Or does he just say that in that scene to make the point that...
You call him a liar?
He's actually not superstitious, but he's saying, because he says, I'm a superstitious man if my son should get hit by a bolt of lightning.
Yeah. Then he's going to hold some of these people responsible.
Yeah, but isn't he being sarcastic there? Because he's not really superstitious.
I wish one of the other Dons had I wish Tatalia Don Corleone, are you speaking figuratively or are you literally superstitious? I need assurances that you...
Well, we don't need to go.
What if I were to take out this black cat?
Get that away from me! Get away from me! Get away! He's got a cat! That's what they find
a pussycat king of.
All the Dons bring a superstitious icon, a superstition icon to test the Dons how superstitious he is.
Well, they don't have to be bad. They can bring good ones too and see how he reacts. Like if they hold up a horseshoe, he's like, "Oh, that's good. That's good."
Yeah, that's true. I told my crew to make all the decisions using the magic 8-ball, but they can't do it because they can make more just asking each other.
Let them lose their rabbit's feet. So
what else we got? So he opens them up in the bathtub, guns in the bathtub, and then he's thinking, and then it cuts to the Abbandando grocery, right?
Presumably the next day or the day after, some point in the future.
I love the opening shot. Don Fanucci comes in and
shot.
Yeah, yeah. He's a real cut up, that Don Fanucci.
He sticks his neck out.
Don Fanucci comes in and says, like, "Te saludo, signor Abbandando." And as he walks by, he passes Vito behind the counter, who's holding a knife.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
I did
and
notice that,
crosses Fanucci's neck as he walks by.
Oh, that's cool.
As Vito's chopping the cheese and bread.
He's cutting the cheese.
Yeah. I can't believe he went there.
What is that smell?
My beak.
My precious beak. He's famous for his beak.
Oh my gosh.
That's gotta be like maybe somehow in our low budget commercials or in the Garbage Pail Kid or something.
Oh,
It was Don Fanucci, but having a beak.
Yeah.
He'd sell like chicken parts or something. He'd be like the spokesman.
I'm gonna be so disappointed if in the upcoming scene where he says, I need to wet my beak.
Yeah.
Where that's really just the English translation. It doesn't even say that.
You should make sure you send that to our Latin scholar, Pete Carucci.
Yeah, I will.
Make sure in advance that, I guess we have a little bit of time before, a couple of weeks. We have like 3 months before.
Yeah. So Don Fanucci comes in
with his nephew.
He says, "Meet my nephew."
My nephew
Goes to the counter. Goes to Don Jenko.
Signor
Jenko. And says, how's business? And I love Signor Jenko's response. She's just kind of like,
non-committal.
Like, it could be interpreted anyways. Like, and then Fanucci bangs on the cash register.
About my business. That's what you should say.
Fanucci bangs on the cash register. Doesn't take anything.
Really?
I didn't see him taking it. He just looks in. He's like, I wanna. Very good. Very good.
Think
Did you
he
see
takes
him
coins out and starts. I think he picks up some coins in his hand. And
okay.
I feel like he takes some
that
coins.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Man's got to wet his beak.
Yeah. He starts snapping at the coins in his hand with his beak like a bird. Is that where the minute ends? Oh, I think Jenko Jr.
Oh, yeah.
Says to Vito,
the Jenko that Fanucci's been really hitting the people lately because he feels they're getting sloppy.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm assuming that him cracking down on the neighborhood more is probably in response to him being attacked by those ruffians.
Yeah,
which we don't see in the movie.
Yeah,
but at this point in the movie, Vito presumably would have seen that. Yeah. So, which means the scene with the knife, him walking across, Vito holding the knife, is an added layer of, that bread looks so good, though.
Oh, doesn't
that
it?
Italian bread.
And the cheese, the look of the whole store. Oh.
If it wasn't for all that horse poop, it would probably smell
great. Gosh.
Too far.
Thank you. Who's the engineer?
Whoa, what was it? Waring?
Waring, yeah.
Waring Hudsucker.
Yeah.
George Waring.
They probably called him because it was the smell of that horse poop in the streets was wearing thin.
Was wearing them out.
Yeah. Well, let's see. What else we got?
What else you got?
Well, I got some stuff from the book that's a little interesting. Some differences.
Well, I have a couple of We Ask, We Answers. We'll do those after.
Yeah, okay. Let's hit the book.
Hit the book, Puzo.
Okay. Don, as you remember, Don Mario Puzo wrote the book, but the screenplay is by Francis Ford Coppola and Mario Puzo.
Correct.
GF2 as well, right? Not just the first one?
No, the second one as well.
Okay. Let's see. So to finish up the apartment scene, he was in Clemenza was in some sort of trouble, and Vito's helping action was instinctive. But when he untied the bundle in his kitchen, there's one difference. I'm guessing Mama can see it in the book. There were 5 oily guns staining the white cloth. He put them in his bedroom closet and waited. He learned that
Oily guns.
Oily guns, yeah. Freshly oiled.
I got some oiled guns for you.
Yeah. Oh, olive oil guns.
Oh.
That gives him the idea. Puzo writes.
Guns that shoot olive oil. Like a water pistol.
Puzo writes. Vito learned that Clemenza had been taken away by the police.
Whoa.
They must have been knocking on his door when he handed the guns over the air shaft. Vito never said a word to anyone, and of course his terrified wife dared not open her lips even in gossip for fear her own husband would be sent to prison.
Wow, there's your husband.
Yeah, so big difference. In the book, he shows it to Mama. But in the movie, he shields it from Mama.
So that was a conscious choice then on Coppola's part that this is the things that have been going on between men and women, keeping it a secret.
So what's better? What's better for the story, Alex? Showing Mama, shielding Mama, or showing Mama? It's like a game show now. Shielding Mama.
Speaking of Price is Right, I feel like, well, it depends on what your point. It's definitely consistent with the character for him to want to protect her from anything criminal.
To not show Mama,
because women can be careless and so on. Don't talk about business at the table, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at it from the modern 21st century, men and women are partners in a marriage, that kind of thing, then it's not good.
Yeah.
Because she could very well go to jail too for having guns in the house. But
yeah.
Who am I to say?
Yeah.
They had by all appearances had a long and happy marriage. So,
do you think Mikey would have showed it to Kay?
No. I bet Sonny would have. I bet Sonny showed it all the time to.
Sandra, you think? Sandra.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, you see her in the first movie talking about showing like how he had a rifle that was this big, he had another gun that was this big. She's showing him all this. She's totally gossiping about all the guns that he has.
Yeah. So. I have a bunch of crushed nuts in my shoe.
I like that because they would come in a container that was shaped like a shoe.
Yeah.
That was like the...
yeah. Well, Alex, it's time to end this episode. But you can keep on listening if you go to godfatherminute.com/support.
You make me want to listen to my Tony Bennett records.